friends. Welcome to another epic episode that has to do with growth, self-development, living a wholesome life, being better versions of ourselves. Yes, on this channel, the Blooming Season channel, I am super glad that you guys could join me even today. My name is Matabane and I am super grateful for each and every one of yours presence. If you are new here, you are most welcome. You are loved, you are appreciated. Thank you for taking the time out of your precious time to come in and join us on this platform. And if you are my regular my day one, my very first support when I came into this YouTube, thank you so much for always being here. Your support is totally appreciated and I see it, I feel it like music to my ears. Thank you so much guys for joining me. I hope you're gonna enjoy today's topic. As you know that this channel is about training us to become the baddest versions of ourselves, and by baddest I mean better versions of ourselves, because yes, the life that God wants for us is a prosperous kind. I feel like we should be taking advantage of this grace and this blessing while we are alive, because when we skip over to the death, or more, we never stop learning as individuals. If you stop learning, then unfortunately it's like you are putting a death or an end sentence to your life. I mean, how else can we do that if not share experiences? Because that's why I'm here. I'm here to share my own experience, and I hope that from my experience you can draw up something that could help you in your journey to self-development, to self-growth, to living this wholesome life that we all envision, that we all hope that we could live, right? Exactly. I post 5 times a week except on weekends, but you can also follow me on all the platforms that I will obviously be showcasing at the beginning and at the end of this video, which I would very much appreciate. And of course, do consider subscribing. That one we won't forget. It's important. So if you were not here yesterday, we were talking about my struggles with confidence and how I built myself to have confidence in certain areas of my life, and I was focusing mostly on my body image because that's where my most confidence was taken. If I couldn't see how okay my body was, I was only seeing the bits and the pieces that everybody else was highlighting to me, and they kind of like became a massive issue before me. But then again, if you didn't hear that one, you can simply click and go watch it right now. I don't mind you pausing this one so that you can go get your confidence dose from that one before we continue with today's episode. But if you did watch it, then let us just get into it and let us just unpack and learn together, because it is important that we learn from each other in our different areas of growth, levels of growth, you name it. Let us just go into today's topic. On today's topic, to close out the week, I felt like this is very important because it's close to my heart, right? Of course, everything that I speak on this platform is close to my heart, but this one is particularly close to my heart because it speaks to the ill-disciplined side of me, right? And we both know that if you are indisciplined and if you are inconsistent, if you are somebody who breaks your word and are habituated to such things, which of course I was habituated to, and I'm still working on refining such things over and over in my life, you tend to relax and you know, you allow life to just kind of like happen and you'll catch up. You know, I feel like there's a difference between taking each day as it comes and allowing life to just happen. I feel like when you allow life to just happen, whatever it throws at you, you kind of like shrink yourself according to the situations. But if you take it a day at a time, then you adjust. So whatever life throws at you, you stand firmly on your values, on your beliefs and your core principles, and you work out the struggles that life is throwing at you to fit your mindset. It doesn't alter who you are, but rather you alter the situations that they do not affect who you are. Unlike when you just allow life to happen. When you allow life to happen, I feel like there's almost that likelihood that you shrink and you mold yourself according to the trials that or the joys that come with life. So two different things there. And for me, I mean I can be wrong at this, but then again, that is just how I feel about it. I feel like we should be individuals who take life a day at a time, because each and every day presents challenges of its own, it presents opportunities of its own, and all of those things. And it's up to us that we receive and we react in a manner that's not going to damage who we have become over time. It takes me back to the time where I would just set up a routine for myself, or a time or a schedule, whatever the case is. I would tell myself that I'll wake up at 5, and then I will do 1, 3, and 8, and then at 10 I will do 8, 5, 7, and then I would just never follow through. I would never keep to that routine or keep to that schedule. And I feel like it had everything to do with the kind of person that I am, or was at the time, or the person that I built over time before this particular one that is developing herself and working towards the positive growth. Growing up, I was very accepting of situations. I was very, whether they hurt me or not, I was very accepting of situations, and I had a very lazy mindset, because I didn't apply myself too much to anything. It was almost as if everything came easy to me. So I never got the opportunity to build the muscle of actually sticking to something. I was always late to school, to work. I would do all of these things, and I would never follow through with my schedules. I would miss the turnaround times at work and things like that. And I feel like it is that management or managerial skill that most of us lack to build at a young age. I could never manage anything really. Even when exams came, I would just read at random, and I feel like when you are young, at random works. But the more you grow and the more you want to be a bigger person and develop yourself into something else that's much bigger than where you have been, I don't think random works anymore. I feel like intentionality now takes the center stage. I used to be quite frustrated with the fact that my life is not changing as rapidly I would like for it to change. It's not moving. It's not. And I realized that no. It's the randomness of what I do. I am random with my habits. I am random with my commitments. I'm random with everything that I do. And until I understand that it takes intentionality on this particular phase of my life to grow further, I was not going to push the limits or break the barriers. I would always support myself by saying, I'm a creative individual, so randomness works for me. I'm not a routine type of person. But honestly, when you want to get to a certain phase of your life, or when you want to grow, or when you want to open a business, I feel like routine helps, because it brings structure to the day, and it brings structure to what you want to produce, or what you want to sell, or what you want to serve others with. Until that structure is established, I don't think we have the liberty of being random or just do things the way we want to do them. It's like people who build businesses from scratch. Most of them don't start off by taking payment out of this particular business. They allow the business to grow, and whatever could have been their payment, they reinvest it into the business until it develops into something that is great, and something that gives them the freedom and the liberty to be who they want to be. And now they can earn from the business. Better still, they can even take a month leave to just go and be with their families and enjoy their time alone. And I feel like that randomness or that free living comes when we sacrifice certain things, like commit ourselves to routines, commit ourselves to schedules, and commit ourselves to literally being excellent with the work that we do. So we're going to be talking about not committing to or keeping to a set routine or set schedule, and how we can actually gain control over that. And the way I went about gaining my control back was, I wish I could say I used colors so that it looks beautiful and everything. No, all my schedules were colorful, really colorful. and I would write them on a paper, and I would make sure that this highlight is there, there's quirky pens there, you know, all the colors, all the few beautiful colors, all the flowers and the jazz. Everything would look so spick and span, and I would think that because I have such a colorful, playful schedule and all those things, I'll be flying high. But then I realized that there was one aspect that lacked the most, which never allowed me to gain control of that aspect of my life. Desire. I was not burning enough to achieve what I said with my lips that I wanted to achieve. And apart from the desire, I also was not believing enough in my abilities to actually to work towards achieving what I wanted to achieve. So I took a moment to sit down and be like, you know what, I take all the energy to program my days, to kind of like structure my days, and I want to bring that structure, that management into my days, and it is so difficult. What could be the cause? And I realized that those two things were the major causes for why I could not stick to a set routine, or I could not stick to a set schedule, or why I was forever late and things like that. So surely it's an internal thing, and if it's an internal thing, then I need to work internally for me to get to where I needed to get to. And as soon as I got to that realization, I decided to, you know what, because it's gonna take some time for me to actually live it out how I plan it in my mind, I decided that if I do miss a time in my schedule, so let's say for instance, my alarm is set for 5 a.m. for some devotion. If I should wake up at 6 instead of 5 for devotion, I do not stop devotion altogether because devotion ends at 8, right? So if I should wake up at 5, if I should wake up at 6 and miss my 5 a.m., I continue from 6 to 8 a.m. doing my devotion, right? If I should wake up at 8, which is the time where my devotion ends, then I should be able to wake up and do my devotion at that particular set time, regardless of whether I miss the time or not. But then again, if I stick to what I need to do in a day, then I lose nothing. I'm actually building a muscle of consistency, of resilience, you know. I am building a skill, I'm building a muscle that I need for my growth, right? So I decided to, you know what, even if I do wake up at 12 and at 12 I'm supposed to be by the gym and I'm late, I am not gonna bang my head against the wall until I bleed because I feel like I'm late. No, that's not what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do is that I will acknowledge that I messed up, I am late, because I'm taking accountability for that time. So I was supposed to set my time. If I did set my time and I heard it and I snoozed it, I was not supposed to snooze my time. I need to take accountability for that, and then be like, okay, sure, I've taken accountability. Now what is my next step? I can't break the activities. I can't skip an activity, because apart from time, the activities are the ones that are going to mold me into this person that I want to become at the end of the day. So how I found that I am gaining control over my routine, my schedules and things like that is by never being discouraged if I should miss my time or a task. So you need to find the passion that makes you want that thing and go for it. You also need to believe in your abilities, because God believed in your abilities. That's why He called you to begin with. And then you decide that, you know what, I'm not going to skip any activity from now on, regardless of how late I am. You know, it's like saying, because I woke up late, I'm not going to go to work. That's not how it works. You call in and be like, you know what, today I woke up a bit late. I apologize for that, and I'm gonna be a bit late to work. And then you go to work, and in most cases you work extra hours to cover the hours that you missed in the morning. And I want that attitude to be the attitude that we use every time. Don't miss activities, and if ever you have the luxury of increasing time so that you cover up every other activity that needs to be covered on that particular day, by all means, you know, by all means. It's a process. It's a process. You really need to be patient with yourself, exercise grace with yourself, but then again understand that until you take a stand for the life that you want or the life that you are called to live, the chances are nothing will really come out of the randomness, right? And I'm not saying this to judge people who work on a random basis and it works for them. I mean, people are different. If randomness works for you, beautiful. But for somebody like me who's been indisciplined most of her life, I feel like creating a structure and committing to it actually helps me more, because it brings a bit of direction into my day, it brings a bit of direction into my life, and it helps me focus on the tasks of the day. So my mind is no longer roaming around thinking on what to do randomly, but I have things that I should be doing which I have written down, and that helps me as a person to grow and develop myself into who I see myself being in the future, right? Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you again in the coming week, rather. Take care of yourselves, and if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to consider subscribing, liking and commenting on this video, whether it's a topic or whether it's your input. I would really love to hear it all, as long as we keep it respectful in this platform. And remember to love yourself too. It is the best thing that you could ever give yourself and the people around you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching me, and I will see you again on our next meet. Cheers.